Continue our discussions again, class, with the laboratory in biochemistry. We now discuss polysaccharides. So we have starch or preparation of the potato starch. So this one, in preparation of potato starch, of course, we have to uh, we will not really use the potato starch. So we have to use the commercially prepared na lang. Okay? So based on that appearance, so you have macroscopic structure of the uh, what you call this one, starch. So based on the microscopic, so yun parang irregular size in the crystals. Okay. Solubility, we have cornstarch, potato starch, and wet flour. So soluble sa water or very soluble ang cornstarch, soluble yung potato and wet flour. Sa HCl, insoluble ang cornstarch, slightly soluble both potato and wheat, 1 ml dilute sodium hydroxide, so slightly soluble cornstarch, potato starch, and wheat flour. So 1 ml 95% ethanol, slightly soluble, insoluble ang potato, slightly soluble ang cornstarch, and slightly soluble ang wheat flour. So iodine test for starch, we have cornstarch plus 1 drop glucose solution. Wheat flour, 1 drop of glucose solution, potato starch. So usually the result is black or dark brown colorations with glucose solution indicates the presence of the carbohydrates. Okay. So iodine test for starch phase, we have turns black or inky blue. Okay. So neutral solutions of cooked starch phase, deep blue color. So usually, if try to see the iodine solution, ito yung sa high school blamba ko sa inyo. If you have the cornstarch, you have to drop iodine, and then if the color is deep blue, that is already positive for carbohydrates. Hydrolysis, meaning Benedict's test, brick red, Feeling's test, brick red. That is considered to be the positive result of the hydrolysis of starch. Okay. So, by hydrolysis, cellulose, and starch, it will yield glucose. Okay? So, ito yung appearance ng starch or cellulose. So, parang needle-like din siya because of the presence of the glucosazone or ozazone crystals. So, inulin, a natural storage carbohydrate presenting in more than 36 species of plants, including wheat, onion, bananas, garlic, asparagus, and chicory. Chicory is Cicorium intybus. Okay, one main source of inulin. Okay, so solubility of inulin in hot water, so slightly soluble in hot water, slightly soluble in cold water, and even an alcohol. Okay, so there is what we call inulin that is commercially applied by Swanson Ultra. Okay, so naturally occurring FOS from chicory root. So pwede kayo mag-inom niyan kasi rich in fibers. So iodine test for inulin, no reactions, non-reducing. Okay, meaning there is no presence of a dark brown colorations. Iodine test, blue or black colorations. Okay, so pwede siya naging nagkaroon ng tawag natin na kung black coloration, there is what we call a presence also of the starch. Okay, in inulin solution, kasi itong pure inulin hindi siya. Kung inulin solution class, meaning there is a water already, so there is already splitting of what? The splitting of your glucose there. Okay, so, or splitting of your fructose, and glucosyl and your glucosyl, that is glucose, and fructosyl, that is fructose moiety. So upon hydrolysis, inulin consists of glucose moiety and fructosyl. So kung you add water, pwede siya ma-reduce. Okay, so there is what we call kung inulin solution siya, kasi split na yung fructose dyan. Okay, which are linked by beta 2,1 glucosidase enzyme. Okay? Glucosidase bonding, not enzymes. Okay? So, 1, 2. Ito yung 1. 1, ito dito 1. Okay? Next. This is 1. Then we have 2. Okay? 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Okay? Or 2, 1. Glycosidic bondage. Glucosidic bond linkage, So inulin, upon addition of water, it yield fructosyl at the same time yung separation niya sa glucose. Okay? So it will form 5-hydroxy methyl furfural. Okay? Benedict's slight brick red precipitate, sa Seliwanov's cherry red siya. So meaning positive pa rin siya. Okay? So reducing sugar siya. Glycogen, Benedict's test is blue and iodine is light yellow. Okay? So this is the chain of your glycogen class. So this is chain also of a glucose. Okay? So hydrolysis of glycogen class, take note, it will form a glucose 1-phosphate plus yung glycogen residues. Okay? So brick red siya, that is reducing sugars. Glycogen residues, you add water, it is split into glucose 1-phosphate and glycogen residues. So R stands for the chain or number of carbon atom that is attached to that oxygen. So this is a reversible process. Okay, so you add phosphate group, biphosphate, it will form glucose 1-phosphate. Okay, cellulose, we have here the structure is a polymer of glucose at beta acetal linkage. Okay, so the graphic on the left shows very small portion of the cellulose. Okay, all the monomers to class ang cellulose is thousands or millions of chain of glucose yan. So jutay lang ipangita, monomer lang siya. All of that monomer units is beta D glucose. All beta acetal linkage is carbon number 1 and carbon number 6. This is carbon number 1. So kung 6 siya, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is carbon number 6. Okay? Kasi linkage niya eh. So this 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this is carbon number 1 and this is carbon number 6. Okay? For the attachment class, that is 1-4 relationship. Sorry, that is 1-4 relationship. Okay? 1-4 relationship. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1-4 relationship pala. Okay, this is carbon number 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1-4 linkage. Okay? So solubility, water is insoluble. Dilute sulfuric acid is very soluble. Concentrated sulfuric acid is very soluble. Insoluble sila sa HCl, both dilute and concentrated. Alcohol is insoluble. Dilute concentrated. Sodium hydroxide is insoluble also. Iodine test for cellulose, black color or deep blue color, so positive. Schweizer's test, so it is reagent contains copper sulfate in sodium hydroxide, then ammonia, it forms complex, okay, tetraamine copper dihydroxide. So the positive result is white flocculent precipitate. Upon acidifying with acid, the results is precipitate is cellulose acetate. So how do you acidify? You have to add a diluted HCl there to acidify the solutions. Okay, so the positive result is Schweizer's test is white flocculent precipitate. So cross and Vivans test. So reagent is concentrated HCl as zinc chloride. So when added with absolute ethyl alcohol, dilute cellulose, it precipitate as ethyl cellulose. Okay. Formation of amyloid. So when you say amyloid class, it's a gelatin film-like material resulting from the actions of sulfuric acid in water on cellulose or starch. So usually it stains blue with iodine. So accumulation of amyloid in the organs leads to amyloidosis. Usually ito yung nag-cause ng Alzheimer's, at the same time Parkinson's disease and others. Okay? So hydrolysis, amyloid suspension plus water, heat, turbid solution. So yun, gwa niya is turbid solution. Okay? Fillings reagent, pale blue. So meaning non-reducing. Picric, blue-yellow. Benedict's, light blue. So that is non-reducing. Hemi Cellulose class is any of the several heteropolymers. Mabaka Hemi Cellulose is Hemi. It contains Hemi group present along the cellulose of the plant cells. So while cellulose is crystalline, strong, resistant hydrolysis, hemicellulose has random. So amorphous with little strength, it is easily hydrolyzed by dilute acids or base as well as myriad hemicellulase enzymes. Okay, it is the enzymes that will hydrolyze or split the hemicellulose. So the product hydrolysis of the hemicellulose that is acted by hemicellulase enzyme is hexoses and even pentoses. So hemicellulose, example yan is gum arabic. So white, crystalline, tasteless. So solubility, insoluble in cold water, insoluble in 95% ethanol, hot water soluble. So iodine test for gum arabic is black portion on a white background. So positive pa rin. Okay, this is a structure class. So hydrolysis of gum arabic, so Benedict's test blue. So non-reducing fillings, non-reducing. So meaning hindi siya nag-quick red, so non-reducing sugar siya. Sa phenylhydrazine, yellow crystalline formations. Okay? So, yun lang pero wala siyang shape na sunflower, or petal shape, or needle-like or the hedgehog. So we have hexosan agar-agar. So solubility, hot water, slightly soluble. So cold water, slightly soluble. 95% ethanol that is insoluble again. Okay? So agarose, agar-agar, the gelling fraction is a neutral linear molecule essential for free of sulfates, consisting of chains of repeating alternative units of 1,3-link D-galactose and 1,4-link 3,6 anhydro L-galactose. So this is considered to be the structure of agar-agar wherein there is a repeating units, meaning ang linkage is D 1,3-link D-galactose and alpha 1,4-link 3,6 anhydrogalactose. Okay. Iodine test, brown, bluish black colorations in powder and agar. Hydrolysis of agar-agar, so bluish solution. Brick red, reducing. Music acid test, same na, magkaroon siya ng tinatawag natin na prismatic, irregular shape of crystals. So we have here the hexapentosans, or tinatawag natin na polygalacturonic acid or pectin. Okay. Yan itsura. So, music acid test yan. For example, yan. Mayroon tayong natawag natin na irregular shape. Examination agar black smear. Ganun. Okay, parang ginatawag siya natin na chain of crystals there. Okay, from cubical. Ang irregular shape. Okay.